Spike, we were, he kind of pretty much said, it's better I ask you this question since you were going through in 2020.
Yep.
But off camera, we were actually giving praise, not you, to AOC for AOC going out there knocking doors because Larry
knocked on my door.
Yeah, knocked on your door to say. So that to me shows hustle. When you look at Lyndon Johnson back in the days when he ran for Congress, the guy was known as a BMF who was willing to come and sit down and tell you, I want your vote. And that takes a lot of work to do, right? Shaking hands, doing all that stuff. You know, you were in it. You guys ran together, you know, yourself. And I saw the bus. I saw all the stuff that was going on. What did you see? What do you think was the missed opportunity? And what was it like when you were talking to people to convert? Because the whole game is about converting. It's not to talk to people that agree.
Yes.
My biggest concern with Joe was when I spoke to her is, how come you haven't had many debates? She couldn't think about a debate. So who's pushing back? Who's challenging? Are there people being converted? I thought Milton did that. But what did you feel was the climate in 2020?
I'm glad you brought up the debate during the Joe interview because, and I think there was also a big part of there was a lack of messaging discipline when it came to, and this was something that I tried to do as much as I could, but I'm the VP candidate. You know, it's not a 50-50 running mate situation. It's more like 95-5. So I did everything I could to talk about lockdowns and the mandates and everything else. That wasn't the main focus of the campaign, unfortunately. And by the time the shift happened in summer where there was more focus on that, it was too late at that point. And at that point, a lot of the lockdowns were waning too. So it was no longer the big thing everyone was talking about. But I'm glad you brought up the debates because the reason we didn't participate in any debates during the 2020 race was because the campaign decided not to. Obviously, we couldn't participate in the Republican and Democrat, the Commission on Presidential debate because that's a cartel and they keep everyone else out. But there were opportunities to participate in debates with other third-party candidates, and the campaign decided not to. Now, I don't know why that was. They said it was because, well, we don't want to be seen as being at the kids' table. 1%, 2%, 3%, 0.5%, we're at the kids' table, and we need to take our position that we're at now, stand on the kids' table, and try to use it as leverage to get up higher. That was a sort of microcosm of many problems in the campaign. We ran a really good campaign for a candidate who was already comfortably ahead by a couple of points and didn't want to rock the boat too much. But if you're trying to be a disruptive candidate who's presenting a stark contrast to the other two parties, that wasn't being done.
So when that is happening, how much of counsel is being, are they asking you? Are you guys sitting in a group? Is it a conference call? Is it a Zoom? Are you guys talking to each other saying, hey, Spike, what do you see happening? What do you see as the opportunity? Where are we dropping the ball? Is that mastermind taking place or no?
The exact opposite was happening. I spoke with Joe 4 times during the campaign, and I was told that my opinions were not welcome.
What?
But let me how does that okay, so who is there is a spokesperson for Libertarian Party. I don't know the guy's name. I've seen him
no, his name's Larry Sharpe. He's right here.
Yeah.
No, a guy
you were until you endorsed AOC.
He's right here.
But,
He's right. Yes.
But the question I'm trying to ask is like who's leading that conversation? Isn't somebody sitting down with you guys as a strategist and saying, "Hey, were you really the strategist leading that campaign?"
That? No,
Do you want to claim
now.
to be
I'm talking about that one. I'm going to talk about that one before I get to you.
Can
Who
we
was
not
the
talk about
strategist?
that one ever again?
But I
just like never.
But
talk about
you know,
it again?
as a person who's ran a business, and for many years, as a younger CEO entrepreneur, I was afraid to talk about the problems that we had.
Sure.
Until I realized we can't do this shit. We got to talk about it. Let's get in there and talk about it. So unless if we address that, we can't get past it to get to the next level. So who was I think behind closed doors, there's got to be some strategists that are like, that have some of the. Who was that person for you guys?
There were people called strategists, but not so much. I actually had to build my own team because there wasn't a lot of feedback happening from the actual campaign structure, the Jorgensen campaign, and what little feedback I was getting is we don't really want you to do anything or say anything, and we're not really
literally
concerned
in
about
2018, I ran the biggest independent campaign of 2018. We raised $500,000. Which is a lot for a third party, right? My opponents raised $6 million and $12 million respectively. So obviously I was blown out of the water. I built the largest team, literally built a policy library, which is still at LarrySharpe.com. Had a team that got me on Rogan, that got me on Glenn Beck, that got me on all the shows, right? Didn't ask me a question.
Yep.
Didn't want my team.
Larry actually offered.
I offered my entire team.
Didn't happen.
I said, I built my team out. I'm ready to go. Let's go do this.
Didn't happen.
And I'm doing it again now, which is why you said, who's the person doing it? You're looking at the guy. You go to LarrySharpe.com. That is a libertarian policy library. You see what I'm doing, and I am in the least free state, as ranked by Cato multiple years in a row. My policies have to lean towards a horribly unfree state. So whatever state you're in, you can easily modify my policies and fit them in your state. If they can work in mine, they can work in yours. We're the ones who get out there and do things. We're the ones who are making things rock and roll. So if you're looking for the future, it's here. I don't want to talk about the past anymore. Sorry.
Well, by the way, I don't know how.
Wait, how did I
don't
become
know
the past?
No, I said it's here.
Oh, okay.
The future.
I don't know how New York beat California. I'm sure those Cato guys have an answer for it.
Yes.
So okay,
Absolutely.
so you said if you go to my website, here's what I stand for. Why don't you tell the audience what you're running for governor of New York
Yeah.
as a libertarian? What do you stand for?
Let me bring up an answer to what Dave brought up. The answer is popularity. That's the answer. The answer. I wish it was more that, I'm the smartest or best looking guy. That'd be awesome, because I am both. But that doesn't matter. The point is, I have to be more popular is the issue. Why can't we get in debates? Debates are not about whether someone is right or wrong. Debates are about ad revenue. That's what debates are actually about. So how do I know that? In New York, when I ran, I was in debates, right? I've been in debates with actual Congress people. I've been in debates, and I've gone back and forth. But there was a debate. In New York State, we don't use a presidential commission. We actually use the League of Women Voters. And they had an actual official debate. And in that debate, our governor said, I'm not showing up. Why? He was winning hands down. Cuomo was the Cuomo-sexual. Remember that, bros? Cuomo-sexuals. They all loved Cuomo. He was going to win. He's the best guy in the world. So he didn't bother showing up to the debate. So it wasn't televised. So I showed up. Republicans showed up. Two other parties showed up. And I won the debate handily. And no one saw it except if you were there. That was it, because it wasn't televised. So what happened? The TV station said, wait a minute, there's a bunch of money to be made. So CBS said, we're going to do a special town hall with just Republican and Democrat. That debate was televised. So if they think they can make ad revenue, they would do it. Do you remember in 2016 and 2017, CNN was doing a bunch of individual town halls with individual people? That wasn't because they cared. They were simply testing to see how much money they would get in ad revenue. If any of them were popular, they would then put them in the debate stage. It was about popularity. It wasn't about whether they care or not. The goal of the media is to be seen and nothing else. If we understand that it's true, popularity matters. People say, Larry, how come we didn't get in the polls? Because you have to buy the polls to get in the polls. It's about cash, right? So if I want to be in a poll, it's not just because I'm the official candidate. I found this out the hard way. I have to buy the poll. A poll costs about $40,000. If I'm raising millions, I'll buy some polls. Every week I'll buy a poll. Every month I'll buy a poll. When I'm raising $500,000 over my entire campaign, am I going to be able to take 10% of that and throw it at a poll and maybe come in poorly? Probably not. It's not a responsible use of my campaign funds, right? So you have to buy a poll. Well, Larry, why aren't you in the press? Why aren't you in the press? Well, because you have to buy ads to be in the press. If you buy ads, they then cover you. If you don't buy ads, they don't cover you. It's that simple. It's all pay to play. People get mad at me. Why are you asking for money? Because I have to buy ads so I can be covered. So I have to buy polls so I can be in them. Otherwise, you can't be in the polls. And that's why people don't understand. Third party, there are so many things stacked
How much
against
money
us.
did you say you raised? You raised how much?
$500,000.
$500,000?
Yes.
This is when? This is
2018.
2018. Okay. Yeah. So I sit with private equity guys, and entrepreneurs will say, "Well, I'm going around and I'm asking for money, and people are just not. They're not giving me the money, man. If they would have given me money, I'll be able to build the next $1 billion opportunity."
Yep.
Well, maybe the messaging or the product needs adjustment.
Yep.
And maybe the fundraiser, the person raising the money, isn't doing a good job selling whatever we need to get behind. Because I like to take the, I like to take the responsibility on myself
100%.
and say, hey, if we're not able to sell this guy, our pitch is different.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.